And Gordi's got a release like Plasticine coming out in May, and maybe we'll hear a couple of songs from that here this morning. Welcome to Studio A.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's get started here. What's the name of the first one?
So the first one is from a previous release. It's a good one to warm up my voice at 10 a.m. in the morning. And it's a song called Way I Go. We were walking so long I forgot where we were going. Found a place we did not recognize, and I'm alright not knowing. Hallucinating with the morning light. Cover me in fantasy. Getting swept up in a storyline, and I'll let it take me out to sea. Let it take me out to sea. Feel heavily, no gravity, and you're the way I go. And unconsciously we're winding like an open road. You're the way I go. So traverse the earth to come back home. Hear me without a sound, and I am mystified that wanting you is how my feet firmly felt the ground. My feet firmly felt the ground. Feel heavily, no gravity, and you're the way I go. And unconsciously You're the way I go.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Gordi performing live from Studio A. That was something from a previous release, but she's got a new release, like Plasticine, coming out in May. And she'll be touring in support of that release in England and France in May. There's one show that she's got coming up. It'll be in Athens tomorrow on the OU campus. So if you're listening in that area, you can go check that out. Looks like you've got some time off in April. Vacation or finishing up your new release? What's going to happen then?
Yeah, I sort of live between Los Angeles and Melbourne in Australia, so going back to Melbourne for a little bit, and yeah, just getting the sort of final pieces together for this album that comes out at the end of May.
And so during COVID, a lot of musicians maybe took up new hobbies, gardening, things like that. You were a doctor on the front line. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, that's true. So I was at medical school when my music career started, and I was pretty determined to finish the degree. And then, I did my junior training and quit my job and went to sort of go back to touring full time. And that was the start of 2020, and no one was touring full time. So instead, I spent the following 2 years working in hospitals in Australia, mostly sort of in and around Melbourne during deep COVID. It's not an experience that I would go back to, but it was a worthwhile thing to be involved in, and it kind of like trickles its way through this new album of mine. You can sort of hear some of it throughout the songs.
Well, let's hear another song, then we'll talk a little bit about your new release coming out in May. Is this something new you're about to play?
Yeah, so this song's not about COVID. This song just came out about a month ago, and it's called Peripheral Lover, and we flew down to Dallas, Texas to shoot a music video for it, which results in a lot of people kind of madly making out on screen, not me. But it's worth a watch. It was directed by a talented guy named Jared Frieda. And it's called Peripheral Lover. I'm in your backstage. I'm on your sideline. I'm looking your way. So won't you put me in your sight lines? I want it all right now. I want it all right now. Don't you make me a peripheral lover, no. I wanna be there in the middle. You need to give me something visceral, baby. I wanna be there in the middle. I'm not your peripheral lover. I'm not your peripheral. I'm not your peripheral lover. I'm not your peripheral. You take me for a ride. You're playing unfair. Can you make up your mind? Because you give me the impression you care. Do you care? Do you care? Do you care? Oh, don't you make me a peripheral lover, no. I wanna be there in the middle. You need to give me something visceral, baby. I wanna be there in the middle. I'm not your peripheral lover. I'm not your peripheral. I'm not your
Gordi performing live from Studio A, presented by the Greater Columbus Arts Council. Her new release, Like Plasticine, will come out in May. Your previous release, you collaborated with Soak on that, and you've also had some other collaborative works with people like Bon Iver and Julian Baker. Any collaborations on this new release coming out?
So the song I'm about to play is the one you just mentioned, where I collaborated with Soak. It's a song called Lunch at June, and that's going to be on this record. And there's another collaboration on a song called PVC Divide, which isn't out yet, and it's featuring an artist named Anais Mitchell, who is a dear friend of mine and someone an artist I love very much.
So your whole family played musical instruments. Were there any family bands maybe back in your younger days?
Yeah, I come from sort of a Irish Catholic background. So my mum was one of 10 and my dad's one of 7, and there was a lot of music floating around the house. But I think it was my dad's wish that we formed a family band, but we never quite got there. But I'm taking up the mantle as a solo artist. But yeah, my mum's a piano teacher, and there's always kind of been beautiful music in the house.
So you've got your guitar here, your keyboards, your drum machine. What did you start out playing?
I started out playing the piano. Even though my mum's a piano teacher, she refused to teach us because she said we wouldn't practice if she did. So we went and learnt with a teacher in the local town. I grew up on a farm like 4 hours west of Sydney, outside a town called Canowindra, where about 1,800 people live. And yeah, I kind of played the piano when I was a kid, and my older brother picked up the guitar, so of course I wanted to pick up the guitar, and I kind of have always just sung, and I played a bit of the cello in high school, not very well, but keys and guitar is where I live these days.
All right, well, thanks for coming into Studio A. Make sure you send us a copy of your release when it comes out.
Yeah.
And everybody get ready for one more song here from Gordi.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. This song is called Lunch at June, and I'm going to play this little drum machine and a synth. So here we go.
You know, it's hard to see with your eyes closed. You're getting lost in your mind out there. The world is crippling all you care for. Lights out, like the city is closed down. All my galaxies in your grasp. Don't abandon them, I won't last long. You are a force that renders me defenseless, and I know the pressure you feel seems relentless, but everything is fleeting except you and I. Certain is the weight of what burdens you. Remember when we had lunch at June? It felt like something that we'd never get through. And we say, when things are better we forget. The nights and phone calls that we regret. So count the seconds and the minutes and the hours and the days. There won't be a second time. You are a force that renders me defenseless, and I know the pressure you feel seems relentless, but everything is fleeting except you and I. At some point it all stops, it all stops, it all stops. At some point it all stops, it all stops, it all stops. force that renders me defenseless, and I know the pressure you feel seems relentless, but everything is fleeting except you and I.